Italian translation on the secret room. If you just accidentally follow the Russian room on webinar, the participants leave in the links so you can easily follow to the room of language specified. So, what Ahmad wanted to hear from you guys, could you please tell me, for those who just already joined us, have you seen the difference in your profile for investments products, the education products with bonuses which are currently there? Could you see the difference? People answering yes. If anybody misunderstood what we are talking about now. I will just talk about the people who put pluses and minuses about the understanding of what we're talking currently. Everybody knows that the project founded on a business plan which Minsky wrote many years ago. This business plan founded on 15 stages, like 15 points from what we're starting to move for each stage to implement this technology. If you have heard what happened 3 years or 4 years ago, we talked about the first stage of development. Now we are just going through 11 stages, and now currently we are on 12th stage. What does it mean for each of us? That our project, that our income could be a minimal or even anything you just implement from your balance is just rising up with the time, and you can check it in your profile. All the things that Andrei Fedorovich have demonstrated in the beginning. We are talking about the tools and available information in your profile. And it's actually a real approach to get the results such as Google, such as Apple, Tesla, so on. It's just uncountable amount of the company who follows same. It gives opportunity to people to be a financial freedom. Most of the people know that the Google company employees received a part of the salary was just a few amount of money, and the other one was just obligation. This is a very popular method of shareholding. We are just past already 12 stages. And what do you think, how much above before closing 15 stages? People guessing like 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. So this is verification. Some people think it's around 1 year up to the final stage. Different suggestions from everybody. Aman says the real amount up to we come to the final stage. Maybe it's even tomorrow. It all depends on us. If we are today, we are currently 214 people in this webinar room, and if we can share this ability for 2 or 3 people from our environment, it will be like daily plus 1K of money. I want to repeating that we have another room for English-speaking people, and if you just accidentally follow to a Russian webinar room, people just leaving the links in the chat box. You can just click the link and switch yourself to another room so you can hear the English support. Could you hear me well? I could see the comments if there is echo. I put volume a little bit low. And now it's not. So I want to talk about the 5 presentation in the day that you can work on each moment you have and rise up as a person, become better than before. That you work and improve yourself. If we have a middle statistic like 3 presentation a day, sometimes we feel like we are limited in time, but it's not really bad because we are reaching for the best results. And I hope that mostly of you guys here expecting and believe that project will be realized. What I would like to highlight for today's meeting. Today, I want again repeat that people need the link for English speakers. I would like to join with you some following information. Some time ago, we've been in Dubai and we provide the exhibition over there. Some people come and when we're interested in technology, we're talking now about the Dubai exhibition. So the Hyperloop also was on Dubai exhibition. They just follow us, step in our foot. Before we feel like we're a little bit behind the Hyperloop, but why they now follow us? Because we are unstoppable. Just 500,000 only Skyway group and almost 1 million in whole company Skyway. Can you imagine today we're just showing the trend? We are doing a mainstream. It is just go through the mind of the people, and when we talk about these technologies, which I'm sure have a rational background, like when we want to switch the transport system, Hyperloop is just promoting the technology and the creators is different people. Our uniqueness that we are following for the creator. Could you hear me well? If the sound is okay? We are talking that I'm talking is about that Mr. Hovratov, he's just really believe in Unitsky because he has a global targets, global dreams. Because if the person have all of these points, you can develop it for different stages and finally come to your dream. But sometimes we stop with a problem in the finance. This person know which place we will take and market further. And I would like, we welcome Andrei Fedorovich Hovratov. It's a person who changed my life, changed 100,000 people's lives. Andrei Fedorovich Hovratov, our CEO and director, my friend and my coach. Andrei, give your words. Andrei Fedorovich Hovratov is the General Director of Skyway Invest Group, co-investor, author and creator of educational project Academy of Private Investor, professional investor, coach and business trainer of personal financial investments development, and masters on the manager of web business. We are just expecting Andrei will appear now. Here we go. Good afternoon, dear friends. I'm just trying to connect to you guys. Andrei asking if people can hear him well and the sound is clear. He wanted to thank Armand, Igor and Romanenko, but his absence for today. Andrei Fedorovich asking who is the first time on the webinar, or maybe you've been before. We are formed a SWIG. Andrei already launched the inquiry, so you can give a reply what time you are here. I think Andrei Fedorovich is talking about the Skyway mission, that we are given ability of co-ownership of the technologies, and that education about the financial literacy. That you are receiving a final model of the business and learning how to make entrepreneurship in business. Have knowledge how to realize your goals and dreams, how to live your life of your dream. Dear friends, wanted to say that big amount of the people for last 4 years or even 3.5 years. the big amount of the people realize their dreams. A lot of them living the life they want, traveling, happy in life. Make a great contribution in the society development, because we reunion in the many countries, because world follows to be divided, but Skyway want to join all over. Therefore, the stuff that we go through the USSR, and we don't want to go through this once again. We're promoting the idea, one of the most important idea, it's a peace of the on the world. That's why we are in the foundation of Mir za Mir, it's the Russian name of this organization. And the second important target is we indicate the idea, save of humanity, save of the planet. Realization of the new development of the society, economic evolution of the world. Engine of this dimension is City Foundation, the Technological Innovation Transport. Andrei wrote a video for Almaty, a special video. Andrei captured the video, how he dreamed. Build the station of the Skyway over there in Almaty to get the best transfer in between cities. And that you can move just in one direction using the Skyway transport, don't feel discomfort and get from one point to other very fast. Now, dear friends, the idea of the Skyway is the very powerful idea of the save of the world, because thanks to the technology of the Skyway, we can make the all pollution producing out of the planet border. Maybe 2 or 3 breeds we can come to at that point. Catastrophic. The 20th century we just off for 300 years above about the nature using. Most interesting one is that we can build Skyway. Can't build the Skyway if the countries will be divided, or we have national divided. Andrei Fedorovich is the member of this association of investment development. And it's very good that this association existed in our world, because we can make a peaceful world. So we can go with the Skyway to realize this project in every country. We don't want to see the borders, the people who creating and investing in this project. We're all people on this planet, and it's our home, so we want to take care about our planet with the technology of Skyway. Think globally and what can help our planet. Why Technology Skyway is a very important moment in the personal life? Because we want to move very fast. The world moves very fast, not like months or two. It's also logistic problems. Absolutely, to make a new life in the people. Just answer to yourself. Ask yourself if you want to live outboard of the city or downtown, when you can move just from city side very fast. If we can compare the Moscow, like from Moscow region to downtown, 2 or 3 hours you need to take there. And you also compare the Kiev and Odessa. If you want just live in Odessa, it's a seaside, just in hour you are just in the center of the Kiev. And also we ask in Moscow, it's people from Moscow, if you want to live in Crimea, for example, and working in Moscow, and daily you will just spend low time to get to the work, for example, and back home. It's a dream of everybody to exist this way, to get to the point very easily, fast, and with comfort and safe. There was a big hurricane, and it's dangerous for people because it's involved on the flights, for example. Also, we would have to say about the other dimension, be a literacy person in science and knowledges, not only be specified on one dimension. I want to say 5 points. The harmonic development of the personality. The little finger is health. The other one is relationship. The other one is for money, and the forefinger is responsible for destiny, that the person follow to the logic of his destiny and realize himself. If you have all these 5 points straight, it means you are a strong personality. Sometimes people develop only one side of this point. The middle finger is the emotional state. It's like Americans used to show. Some people think that money can solve all the problems, but it's not really true. But if we have all these 5 points that we can develop in very big harmony to yourself, we have 2 main dimensions with education. It's Academy of Private Investor to receive entrepreneurship offer, how to increase your income, how to learn to lead the business. He said about one guy who used to work in London in a hotel. And just starting the Skyway business and develop himself, and it is Armand, the last speaker. He has value like 50% of our company. He created the company itself, and the value is quite big, like 25% of all company for all the time. In the last month, I proved it was increased like 50%. Ahmad is a very good businessman who created a million business. We are now just have such people who joined the company who 3 years ago even didn't know how to live, what to do, take the low income work. And after they're familiarized with the company Skyway, they change their lives and their destiny, top dreams. So we created the special education who developed the person in all 5 dimensions of his life to come to a knowledge how to make money from this. So we go to the next point. Thank you for feedback. Andre is curious if anybody can vote if this person comes from device, gadget, for example, not just from laptop. So the program of the webinar, it's results of April. What we can remember during the all stages of development of Skyway, last news of Skyway and Skyway Pro, and then will be panel discussion, answer and question. It was a big value on the 10th stage, and if we can count numbers from financial investments, 40% from all from all means we collected from all the time. 60% of growth related to other periods. Big thanks to Unitsky who created this uniqueness the marketing companies. And now we divided like 40, 60 and 40% and 60%, which are already collected and which is not. We just have a minimal income for Skyway group, like 1%. Spending like a lot of amount of marketing and promotion. 60% company receiving from the feedback. Why you can leave 70% for the company and 30% for marketing? We just started like that, and we receive a very low percent. For the 10 period, we receive like more, like 40 or 60%. And it gives a big result and outcome if you're coming as a multi-level entrepreneurship person. And the people who is individual entrepreneurship, a lot of millions of people in the world. If we are talking about the 10 millions of multi-level entrepreneurships, they are receiving awards. Not as selling real estate or insurance and policy. Agents just who is living on commission, like 35% in the world from population. And we have like 28% of multi-level entrepreneurships people. Who's making a network business. This year we are receiving the license from the Academy of Private Investor Education. We want to implement the profession such as manager of multi-level crowd investing. So we want to qualify people regarding this position and populate in the different countries. We are now on debates with the different universities from other countries. This professors, they go through our education as master prophets, and they are really surprised how this education gives a lot of knowledge and skills and practice. In this state, I think thanks to multi-level crowdfunding, we border a 9th stage of development. People could see that they receive a decent amount for development of the Skyway. We have a phrase. It's nice to realize idea and it's cool, but if you can even to receive money for promoting of this idea, it will be grateful. Sometimes there is not enough investor for good ideas. I'll go through the different companies which I receive the income. Like first stages, the risk was really high, and our partners like spend a lot of money when they travel for some business trips. Andrei just make explanation about the cost during some trips that you're supposed to look smart, and if you're not receive such amount, how can you spend more regarding these trips and all the moments below. He thinks like which way should we implement this money, like brokers company or other companies, or it will be like decent distributed in between people or one system. Andrei have like 20 years of experience of web marketing, and he says that this is the fastest way of implementation the information for the markets. It is the fastest way to implement the information and also same time to receiving money from that. We now need to get like 100 millions for this project. We are not discussing the cryptocurrency that you have mixed feelings. Andrei wants to tell one joke about mixed feelings. One side, Andre support the cryptocurrency, but other side is the system which make crypto existent. Is a kind of speculation. The Bitcoin found on the cross based of the demand and offer. So Andre have mixed feelings about the crypto. And what is it? Interpretation is when mother-in-law just go to the interpretation is when your mother-in-law go to abuse or fall in deep. So that's why they have kind of mixed feelings. But for example, people can collect millions of dollars, 500 millions just in 3 months or half year. There is some companies like year and a half they collect in such amount. But it's different approach and speculations. Manipulations and so on. But we are collecting on the technology which will be implemented in all over the world. $500 trillion. And there is the people who is with us, they are special. We're supposed to understand that this technology will be implemented in the bright future. And treat it this way, and to promote this technology we need to have a proper approach. That's why we have master profi courses. This is a special system of education how to properly promote this system. We won't have just money after selling or purchasing. Just 1 second, please. Interpretation. Andre talks about the multi-level of sailings. Not everybody understands what kind of system it is, which benefit it gives to people and government. The market promoting and development of goods and services or technologies. It's a kind of 10 dimensions when the multi-level marketing benefits it's have a nice value, very big. First, we promote the Skyrainers group, the peace for the world. It's our main treat. A new economical evolution of the world. The second point is the sixth technology way of life and the education. After you purchase the education, you receive shareholdings, bonuses. We are talking about the main trends of the education. Some people, for example, as a student, go to IT course, and the students started to do investments, for example, and IT sphere and then receive a nice applications after this company promoting on market. So basically on dreaming, it's good to combine education and some way of income you're trying to do with investments, for example. The approach in the Academy of Private Investor is quite unusual, and we are now doing it last 4 years. The last news of the company is the next slide. We are now coming to a new economical model of the world. Locomotive of the development, it could be a skyway, which gives high-tech technology to the world, and I think Ecotechno Park will be better it will be better than Hollywood. He's just sure like 100% in the success of this. We can be glad that the building on the Chebatero Street is now in full possession of the Skyway company. It wasn't really planned according to the business plan on this stage. We are planning just to rent of this building, but this year we could just purchase it. It will be a technological center. Which can protect us from different the next slide shows that the Bright event was Future Cities show in Dubai, and we participate in exhibition. Skyway is claimed to be a city foundation where people can be safe and can live safe without pollution that affects on the ecology, and innovates. They show like after 25 years that they like innovations, and they're really interested in the new developments. We can compare it to China, for example. When you come to China, with, for example, with the offer, they are interested in investments where money can work and 30, 40 or 100 years for you. This country is really interested in investments for long-term income. And Skyway is the exactly project they really appreciate. And we have news about the crypto. The company is ready to implement the yard, the platform, and it will be a cryptocurrency as Skyway. Unitsky approved this development that we will have own currency. With all investors in Skyway, you can receive big benefits from this development. When the Skyway crypto will appear on the market, under the control of the way of existing and blockchain platforms, because we need the blockchain process in the company to make some regulations and transport implementations as well in different cities. Thanks to support the investors who go through the educations with the Skyway. Andrei remember one story when one guy gave like $18 to Unitsky, some amount of dollars. So the meaning of the 100 back in those times, like 19th years, it was a really big amount. And Andrei talked about the experience of selling and purchasing dollars in 19th years. Some people really sell, really purchase the dollars from Andrei, like $1 equivalent to 35 rubles. And this 100, which was given those time, it gives so much opportunities currently, because those time they invest this amount in this technology and get big shareholders. So what I would like to say that the Emirates, they really have good to relate to innovation. We will have a video from Dubai with Unitsky. He's currently in Dubai, by the way. We will have some negotiations in Emirates currently. As soon as possible, we will know the good news from that location. So as you know, we switched the stage from 10 to 12. Maybe we will have unbelievable news very, very soon. Next slide is Skyway became Technology of the Year. There was a special tender for the best approach in the technology dimension in Republic of Belarus for 2017 years, and Zaostronne Technology is the name of the company, is the winner of the category Technology of the Year. So we receive a special awarding. Next slide shows about switching to a 12 stage of the development, and it was like a big celebration for the people who involved. Some people was out of time to make purchasing of investments and shareholders, and it's a bit sad. If anybody made a request from you or your mate to pay by bank transaction, but this transaction followed too long and it came just after 12 stage came. For the plus, who made the request before 28th of April, and the money will come like after 13. You have ability to have bonuses to purchase the amount of shareholders, which you already have, but it's necessary to write in IT support to Andre made a correction. Who sent a transaction with the money before 26th of April? For example, you made a request on 24th and starting payment process, and your money didn't reach before 13. If we receive like up to 13 this money on our company account, so. And we also wanted to know that due to public holidays in Russia, there may be some delays in transactions in between banks. So back to a word for 20-stage appearing. It was like celebration of the new year. People was, everybody was really happy. 17 million of the Kazakhstan. They're just above of the Russia. If we are talking about regarding the partnership in between agents, the registrations for the 10th stage from all amount, it was like 10% from all amount. Investors 22%, partners 16 or 70%, qualified agents 38% from all amount, consultants 54%, like 1,009 people, if I can compare to a person. All year, when we have implemented the Master Profi online for 2016 year, we received like 1,015 people, and for the 2 months of 10 stage, November, December, January, February, March, and April, we do same amount as last year, just thanks to Master Profi courses. Managers are 64%, leader managers is 68%, just because of the education of Master Profi offline. We receive this big result, and the Kazakhstan took the first position of this. If we can compare sample Australia, it has like 30 times less of selling, but they bought so much courses as Master Profi, and they became kind of a bit above than Kazakhstan. What is the most interesting is people who receive the partnership program awarding for the 10th stage. It's a very good result. The biggest companies is a multi-level marketing. One of the company, even I started my business, I didn't even pay the same amount to my partners as Skyway. We're just counting that 60% is already done, and at least we need just order through 40%. Just 60% coming to a building to our company. A partnership chain will support documentation. When others projects will come, we're talking about the targeted projects, and ours was difficult to realize from the beginning to Unitsky for that project. The key points of realizing these projects is to make technical, economical explanation is the first point you should make too. As for example, company can pay for such amount, and the 50,000 million just go to technical economical education. So Andrei means that the cost for this is quite high. And to support this documentation for building, like 10% from 100 is for the documentation, and 90% is just to realize project regarding the building. And with such high expenses, how we can support even half of this amount? So multi-level marketing is for individual entrepreneurship, and multi-level investing is supposed to be understandable what is investigation itself and how it could be done. Some consultants can just give you an offer like just buy it, and Andrei told the phrase, if you would be a motivated idiot who can motivate somebody, this person became idiot as well. When Andrei came to a different country, like 1st September, it will be like purchasing for So basically, we need the qualified specialist who understand which risk we can have, which guarantee we can give. We need the people who already have self-mind, who want just not to get money. The informed people who won't be ashamed to look in the eyes of people who were invited to a business, who wanted to support this technology. It is a very important moment. And to be informed, we have to have knowledges in investments. That's why we call it multi-level crowd investing. It's not just a business, if we can compare like crypto, the people just being motivated. Like people go crazy when the crypto became on the market to just implement so much money. Like and people just rush in with the buying these bitcoins because they don't have knowledges and ways how to make your capital. And that they have a speculation mind, and this person doesn't understand the things and points. And when we say which way we will have realization, we are talking about the 8 wells of private investor. And we are just showing now the brochures, which gives you knowledge, even short, briefly about the rules of investments. The second book is The Money for Life and for Dream. We have all these 2 brochures in online, so you can easily to get it in your profile, for example. For example, if you have a rendezvous, it's a personal meeting for your business. Just start from the second book. The third one is you can invite the person who you want to attract for investment to a free education, even in offline. We have a nice tool and unique class tool, the Genius of Finance. It's a unique class training we created as a game platform. You know what I like the most in this training? Because I provide a lot of lections for investments. You're teaching like a whole day, 6 years or 6 hours, maybe 8, and you give a lection, then you give a tasks. People doesn't understand a lot of things because they didn't do investments before, capitalization as well. And now it's like 4 hours of promote this game, Genius of Finance, and the mind of the person starting changing. We have a very positive feedback. That one game can economize you 1 year or even 2 or 3 or 4. If you get 10 classes and go through the offline with these classes as a game, you will economize 15 years of your life. Not even about the money, it's obvious, yeah, but Andrei talks about the time. He said that it's impossible to work as to 20 years ago. Only in your mind, but not in the reality. But in this online trainer, game Genius of Finance, you're really economized and you can make forecasts for the future, and you learn how your future could be, how to avoid the mistakes for the future. The person from the chat box asked where we can attempt this game, and Andre replied that in our offices and representative, we would like to have like 100 centers that the people can attempt this game. 4 continents. Maybe it could be done via office or the game itself. The game looks like a very nice leather bag with green color. Andre comparing it to a brochure with the gold letters written Academy of. Andre talks that all this game, like the pack of this game, looks very posh and nice. And when you come with such a pros, with such case to other people to run the game, people will appreciate and have serious approach to you, because they would see how it looks like. Imagine you just can come to your friends or mates and you can promote via them. Like, look what I bought, I wanted to share with you, and so on. Imagine like you come to your friends and like after 4 years, or after 4 hours, I'm sorry. Maybe even to provide these games with the friends, some of them will just have a desire to join the company and purchase some investments. We provide centers in Crimea, like Simferopol, Sevastopol, Toronto. We want to make a table with such centers where it's allocated and add to our network. Antonin Kenovsky leads the education in Moscow for Russian speaking people. We plant Master Prof in India in the end of the May. Antonina also will visit this event. And she also will represent the game with Genius of Finance and receive the certificate of leading a performer. People ask, why you don't you do it in online? And Andre explains that some processes can be realized just via online. Andre talks about some platform to learn foreign languages with your teacher, for example, via laptop. And Andre comparing that we can have ability for few participants, like 8 or 10 people involved. So we're getting ready for a platform which can represent the real life game, but also recommended to visit it always personally because it can give rather more than you just go through online. That people from Africa, Steven and his partnership, they are leading the games in Moscow office. The question is, what kind of the conference will be in Delhi in India? And Andrei replies that there was which conference could be in Mumbai, and they also have to make a master profi for as 2-day course. Andrei also will go to England very soon, in USA, Italy, we are planning just for 1 month or a month and a half. Create special education for performers, but also make coaches who will teach the performers. Vitaly could do it, a very nice candidate. The representative in India as coach, also representative in Kazakhstan. And Dmitry Счастливый could be a coach for Siberia and Far East. Also, one guy from the Academy of Prednesta, he also come to. As a leader for Ural and Siberia as well. And for Moscow, as coaches, candidates is just in process. Ukraine is Antonina Kanovskaya, coach. So, dear friends, would you like or not? I was told like, Andrei will soon will be millionaires. Why do we need this education? But Andrei replies, now we are in the 21st century. Andrei discussed with his friend about the analytic energy movement when we have up and low. So basically, if you don't have knowledge as backgrounds, you can be involved in bad conditions when, for example, a country has crisis. And this knowledge, it really helps you to support you while the big peak period. Some examples about the students from the Academy of Private Investor, and that they have a big station in Donbass. That one mates of Andre, they used to be a student of the Academic Private Investor, and they are located in Donbass, Ukraine. After all the crises in Ukraine, they just jumped to a bus and went to Rostov, and they have to learn how they built their life from the zero. This guy have a reserve fund, and after 6 months, Andre told if you have a background money as active obligation funds, maybe you can move to a different location if, for example, currently you have a global collapse. And as a short forecast, this year also can have some negative forecast, but all knowledges we give through our special educational financial literacy, it can really help you while the collapse in the world. Maybe today you are a millionaire. Now we are coming to a little pauses. Andre needs to reply on the phone, so just please wait for a few seconds. Okay, we are now back to our webinar, and we are talking about the chronology of events. It was the first stage. Andre came when the website already appeared in 2012, in 2002, like 1,500 GBP per action. It was a company Euros and the rail system. It was also Australia, USA, 400 million obligations was suggested for those period. $5 million obligations for $1,000. It was the discount cost for the first stage. We only had webinars those periods. The Academy of Private Investor is like financial support, like 75% for company. The financial support is like 40% from company SWIG, Skyway Group. The April and August 2014 is creation of contractual bureau, and the employees amount was just 25 people. August and February 2015, creating of the scheme how to build the test ecotechno park. February, August 2015, we're receiving the part of the land in Belarus for creation the test park. We're talking about the ecotechno park. December of 2015 and June of 2017, it was the work under the creation, the manufacturing of Inbus, and it was also founded the first EcoFest. June, October 2016 is presentation of our transport and international exhibitions. The October 2016 and March 2017, the testing of the Skyway and demonstration of better version of transport system. March and September 2017, investigation of the route market, highlight the profile partners and condition of support and collaborating. So this is what happened for last 6 years. Then exhibition made Belarus in Kiev, Ukraine. Also the routes and transport of Siberia in Irkutsk city. Also the city of Hughes on Komsomolsk on Ural. The events in April is SWIG, the conference in Italy, Belarus, Russia, Kazakhstan, Australia. The approximately a quantity of participants 300, offline training, master profi, the amount is 10. The country or the location is Russia, Italy, Kazakhstan, UK, Belarus, Uzbekistan. The participants amount is 282. Then the exhibition, the free exhibition in Ukraine, Russia and Belarus, and as well the Geo-Finance, the trainings, once were leaded in Moscow, and the amount of participants are 10. We want to implement it in 1,000 centers for all Russian CIS for this training, the Geo-Finance, and all over the world. 5,000 people supposed to be go through these games. We want to popularize the full information and that people start enjoying. We are talking about the schedule of Master Trophy. 17 and 19 May it will lead in Khabarovsk. Moscow is 17, 19, and 25 and 27. In Lvov, Ukraine, 3rd and 5th, 3 to 5th in Liza, it's Kazakhstan. As well in 6th and 8th in Karaganda. It's all May. 16, 18 May it's Aktau. 18 to 20 May Shymkent. Also in Kyrgyzia, and from 2 to 4th of May in Bishkek. Australia from 18 to 20 May in Melbourne, and New Zealand it's 25th to 27th May in Auckland. They asking like how you can popularize, you can just tell it to your friends or relative, and they all wanted, all became the participants of this game of Master Trophy. And I just counting what I already translated, in which location Master Trophy will take place. For foreign people, I will just remind that Italy from 3rd to 5th of May and Liza, Australia from 18 to 12th of May in Melbourne, and New Zealand from 25th to 27th of May in Auckland. For the current moment, the training they completed around 1,000 people, even 282 in April. You can visit the conference in Almaty. It is today. It could be also we can have a contract, proposal contract with the China under the card Union Pay. They say if it will possible that the website will be that busy that around 2,000 people can make registration daily. And I would like to briefly go through the other slides, and Armand will be on the panel discussion, which you can ask questions and receive answers. We are back to slides. The event, the also conference in Krasnodar, 28 and 29 of April. The 29th of April, the conference will be in Minsk. also 28 to 29-inch Labinsk. For foreign listeners, the 28 to 29 of April would be a SWIG conference, Millionaire for 1 year, and the location is Australia. From 5th to 6th of May, it will be a Gold Coast regional conference of SWIG. And also 16th of June will be a conference in the UK, also quarter regional conference of SWIG. Andrea also remind how it's important to make happen the rendezvous, like a 5th rendezvous a day. It's possible for everybody. There is a special launching of the 10 representative office in 2018. It will be Kazakhstan, Atyrau, Kokshetau, and let's say second, please. And in Russia, it will be a new office in Vladivostok. We are opening new offices in Kaliningrad, Yekaterinburg, Perm, Sochi, Novosibirsk, St. Petersburg, Vladivostok, Samara, Volgograd, Kazan, Krasnoyarsk. If you successfully passed through the master profi and want to be a representative, just fill in the form. The projects are quite interesting and attractive for business. Same time you spend on the rendezvous and to attract people and money in the system. The commission from $10 is just 8 cents, and the commission from $10,000 is $800. So you could see the difference. And you have a global big projects and involved a lot of finance who can make happen the magistral buildings. These magistral actually represented on the slide from St. Petersburg to Vladivostok, and the length of this route is 8,462 kilometers. Dmitry Ishchenko is responsible for this route. We also have a new product, a new offer, Express Consular Plus Genius of Finance. Express Consular costs 4,000 units, and the Genius of Finance costs 1,500 units. If you want to buy full package, it will be like 5,500 units. You could visit the Master Profi gratis, visit Genius of Finance for a fast building of the business, to make it happen in your office or in your city. so you can familiarize with the plan of all this education. With the special offer, in future it will cost like 6,000, but now you can get it with a discount for 5,500. Thanks to this, you will receive a big amount of shares of the company. Also wants to share that we have a school starts called 7D. Ilya is the lead of this program. After 2 months, it was 50 webinars, 2,118 invite participants, and 370 active participants. Dear friends, just come just invite people who wants to be a partner in online school in School 7D. Also, Andrei showed where you can find the link for 7D School. You are just a bit in rush because Andrei will join to the next meeting and he have to go. And the next word will take Armand Muringis. We are now on the kind of final stage of panel discussion, question and answers. Here you can ask questions to Armand and receive the proper answer. Okay, Nazir, I've heard you. I will just tell this information to Nika. Okay, I will just copy and paste in the different chat box your messages. Andrei wants to thank everybody that you are joined us, all team here currently. As Henry foretold, some people can get all my money and all my property, and they can take all my business, but it doesn't make sense if I have a great team, because we can get it back just 1 year very easily. So Andrei is very happy and proud that he has such a great team of Skyway business and that we all developing with each other, and that you became a member and participant of our team. Bring your development, go with us through the education such as Master Profi and so on, like that people come with suggestions. Okay, guys, thank you very much. I just have to go now. Make congratulations with upcoming public holidays, who is currently happening in your own country. I want to wish that the 12th stage will be very successful, that we come in very fast, to wish you that we come to the 13th stage very fast. Thank you very much. Goodbye to everybody. Wish you health and wealth. Okay. We now take a word, Armand Marinkis. For English listeners, Nikos Litskar just sent me also questions. I will just put it in the chat box in Russian room, or somebody can follow to the Russian room and ask the question in English if you're okay with this. People ask how to launch the region or the country. Armand answered that you have to know the activity in those locations. Armand says that Spain showed good results after the presentation for 30 people. All we need to do is just send people and make a result, and they will make a result for you about the amount of people for investing. Could you tell me, the next question is, could you tell me about the plan of compensation? If it's marketing plan, you need to follow to your profile, go to department like marketing plan, or where if you don't want to check yourself, you can do it with the person who invited you. We're checking the volume. They're asking about the price per one obligation and how much you guys ready to sell it. People suggest options like $1, 1,000. Harish, I will repeat your question now and will copy and paste to Armand chat box. After he completes his reply, I will just send it. Can I send a question about the plan for India? The question is how we get our dividends after we go to IPO. If I am an investor and want to sell to other via broker, then I want to work with you and want to know more about my work. Armand doesn't really understand what he means. If you want to be hired, I just need to go via Education Master Profi, because Andre can assess only people who went through Master Profi as a future employees. And also specify that you have to go through the education to join. People asked about the qualification. Italian asked, which is investments priorities for the next years? I must say that many times this question was highlighted. The first is technology of Skyway and all related to Anatoly Dorchinsky. If company go positive way and Our priorities is our financial portfolio. Next question is about the system of crowdfunding investing. %, it goes to a company, 40% goes to marketing companies. And 5% from marketing goes for support of the offices and leading the conferences. My clients asking me where dividends come and how we can receive it. Not reply. All dividends will be converted via brokers and we will have our own brokers. So we are getting ready for this background to make happen the currency exchanging. People ask about the credit card of Skyway. Arman say we won't allow to do it by credit card. People asking about the dimension of Skyway's group, and Armand answered that the main dimension is the financial literacy and make education. People ask if it's true that the IPO will be in 2020. Armand don't really understand where they get these numbers. About the question from the question was, we would like to request information on how to become a partner and implement Skyway in Africa. The Armand says that we have to develop the partners and go through the education. So after they will be literate, we can develop the partnership and implementation of Skyway in exactly this location in Africa, Zimbabwe. After we close 5 stages, fifth stage of our project, that 30% will be on hands of people. Somebody wants to be hired and ask about the states how it could be happen. It was a question about the card ECA. If the company is supposed to open such platform to get the means from the card ECA. Asking about the priorities, they say that it's financing of the Skyway. Asking about the crypto dimension. What did you mean when broker takes 50%? If you ask broker how many dividends I will receive from Sberbank, Aeroflot, and so on. So you could see which amount they also tell you, like 50% from your income could be taken could be taken by financial institution. Some people ask about the Genius Finance in England. We have a special schedule for Genius of Finance, which were announced on our website, and there is limited quantity of people. Will we have a payment system except the advance cash pay? Next question. If partner can get money back, if the partner can get money back if he doubts and won't just withdraw it. He bought on the 10th stage and today he has doubts. And I must say we can buy directly from him this quantity of obligations. Somebody asked if I can gift Some people ask if I can make this obligation as a gift for my friend, for example. And Anna said, no, strictly no, because you make a direct purchasing from the Unitsky. You do verification and you are in unique form of the auctioneers. And this And this register doesn't have public access, so you can just give it to another person. We all kind of block when we are making this purchasing of shares. We can't just give it to another person. They are talking about the individual approach. Finally, we get to a plan for India. For our day, company is getting ready all the necessary work for Academy of Private Investor, exactly Academy of Private Investor, have ability on the territory of India, provide such trainings as Master Profit, learn people of 8 wells of private investor, as well provide trainings for Genius of Finance, which allows people for our days receive financial literacy and in individual order will have some assessment for products. Some people will ask a question like, the question was about the commission for brokers, and I'm told that it will be approximately 15%. When you are planning to open a branch in St. Petersburg, maybe when maybe when you come to me and say that I want to make some developments in St. Petersburg, so we can make it happen. We are now talking about the compensation plan. If we are talking about the marketing plan, you should follow to your portfolio and tools to see a wording plan in Shin. There you can find the answers on your questions. How I can be a broker? You might have a 5 years experience in financial company, so probably then you can receive the broker licensing. Some people ask about the SWIG certificate. I must say it's just a document which confirms that Andrei will pass you by the shares after, as he is a legal person. Will be transported amount for per 1 shares. Again, question about the broker's commission. I must say it could be up to 50%. All you can do to understand which way it could happen. I must say he's not a fortune teller, so he can predict the future. He can just act on the facts we have currently. What is the current possible value of share? If you are currently ready to sell per 1 cent, so the price depends on you. They say about VAT of income and VAT to brokers, and what could be clear income after all taxes. Every person can find out if company will post shares on a London Bridge, So you got to understand which broker will undertake it. Secondly, that we wanted to receive the financial investment license, that we have less issues with brokers, that we can find ourselves to get the option. Let's back to questions. We are still discussing which commission can be taken by brokers. Talking about the tax expenses. Imagine today or tomorrow we are just on the market and we are selling one obligation per $1. Somebody will buy definitely with pleasure, but then And the question is, I'm an investor for a significant number of IPOs, me and other family members. When we can transfer an IPO from one participant to another to sell other interested buyers. Thank you for the explanation. Before the company go through the market completely, we can't change the share or give to somebody else. Only if the reason could be some person could be dead, and after all the necessary documentation provided, and proof of family relationship via notary company, you probably can make it happen. But generally, we have to go when we can come to market completely. Anil, I'm told that if shareholder unfortunately gets the death, if you have any other family relatives, you have to collect all necessary documents and do all the process via notary. So then the shares can be switched to another member of family. Which law will be regarding the selling obligations and shares? It depends on which location you want to sell your obligation or shares. Due to different government have different policy regarding the sales purchasing of shares. If you want to know which amount broker takes, you have to go to a broker company and then ask if I'm gonna sell over you, which cash I will have if I do it. And in case of the state you indicate above, if you represent all required documentations and do all process via notary, it is possible. Armand answered this question some minutes ago. Again, people ask if they will sell the shares via different location, which way it could be happen. Armand says you have to work via local brokers. It all depends on the location and requirements they have specified for this country. How we can avoid the taxes or big amount of taxes. Armand says it also can make happen via brokers. You already need to think today how you can avoid these issues. Where to will we pay the taxes after a realization of the market? To British side, because Virgin Islands is under the contract law. Again, we will pay under the policy and if we have taxes from dividends, we have less speculations. Would it be better to introduce a higher percentage in the project, for example 70%, therefore less in SWIG, to achieve the implementation of the project faster? The AMA says that 35% is the marketing plan, and 50% supposed to be as cost for business trip, conference, materials, salaries, and so on. So you receive like 35% according to the marketing plan. They asking if you can exchange units in portfolio in between different people. And Ahmed says, yes, it's possible. You can transfer units in between different profiles with no limits. Ahmed wanted to highlight that some questions is supposed to be asked by legal department, and he's stating on own experience about the market to whom he is supposed to pay for taxes during the work with brokers and so on. People again ask how we can avoid taxes, and Ahmed compared if you are receiving salary, for example, according to Russian law, we have to pay like 18% VAT. So if you work legal way, you can't avoid the tax payment. Maria, forward your question to chat box to Almond. What happens if the holder died before IPO? Yeah, as I stated before, you just if the whole shareholder died before the IPO, the other member of family just collecting all necessary documentation and go to notary, so it could transfer them. The question about the bonuses. I would like to know how to know why can't we withdraw bonuses if you are not from the Russian states. I would say you can withdraw bonuses if it's not less than 50 units, 50. And Marine, can they put something in place of the people around the world so they can be able to withdraw cryptocurrency? To transfer the money, it's possible if you buy 50 units for people asking about the dividends from income supposed to be not be transferred via third-party company or brokers. He said about the tax holders, not about the selling of obligations. Alan says that all related with the income you have to do for the requirements under the specified location. The person asked if you can refuse from the purchasing made on 10th stage and get your means back. I just asked in support the means on your main account is specified for buy or eat. Just a second, please. So the funds from the main account are not returned under Federal Law 115 from 7 August of 2001. Funds are transferred to current accounts of participants can only be used for intended purpose, namely only for acquisition of IPRC. What if you don't want to register Skyway as a business? Can we withdraw the cryptocurrency in cryptocurrency? The armored don't really understand what do you mean register Skyway as a business. What if I can? What if I have passion to register Sky? Maria, the question wasn't really clear for Armand. He's not really understand what means a register as business. We will redirect questions to specified departments such as legals and so on. Ahmed wants to highlight he is not a legal advisor of the company, so the questions should be related to a legal department. We want to understand which way our partners can have more benefits, and the most important for today currently gives people opportunity to be a shareholder and not just think today how we will receive our dividends. Today, in your environment, there are a lot of people who will get this ability with pleasure to become a shareholders, and you can lead with them which way will be more appropriate to how to make the further transactions. Our mission is just to realize the technology of the Unitsky for each person, each city, and what we are focused on with my team and team of the people who lead the multi-level crowd investing. This is the main goal, but the target is how to withdraw and how to transport money. It is kind of next step. All you need to do is go through education to understand what this. When you become an individual entrepreneur, you will understand that uh, you can have in your company the people who are responsible for legal questions, for marketing, and so on and so on. And then you will get more in-depth consultations with them. Uh, he said about the BitConnect system and that it was so popular, but the project was not realized. I urge you to popularize and attract more investors in the project so we can make it happen faster way and make an accent on this. Our technology is real and you can even touch it, and this technology, in this technology people interested in a very different countries. People are just attracted. The question is, could you share with me how you attract people? I'm gonna say, I just say purely from my heart what can be that he look into my eyes and see all abilities he can realize. Many people just wasted it with such product as cryptocurrency. Arman says that people are supposed to verify where is the good product and where is which one could be just like a pyramid, and so, and that some people just are scared to invest money because they not really understand which project can have success. And I'm gonna say this is the same problem all over the world. The one participant told like, oh, we need to complete ecotechno park, and I'm totally agreed. One person said that he has a group of 4,000 people, and he interested in how it make happen that it work better. I'm gonna say just let's contact. I will tell you some advices. People note that we have not too much amount of people who has financial literacy, and Ahmed said that this is the one of the main tool. Like, can you imagine more than 1 million people receive dividends with the and what these people are going to do with this amount of money? So Ahmed thinks if a person doesn't have financial literacy, he just wastes money or nothing. So Ahmed says that if even the person will receive $1 million, the personality won't change. So people just will repeat all the time same actions they used to be before, for example. So basically, people formed by own habits and not by your amount of money you possess. People just support Armand that he is so in depth about the Skyway and have a lot of passion about this. I must say, if you have a lot of people under you, you have to work with each of them personally, or otherwise you will have less outcomes. People ask where they can find Armand, and he says that he can be reached in social networking. People ask the question, why we go from 10 a stage just to 12. Alan says that we are a company following the business plan. He asked if anybody in chat box knows the business plan, for example. How much finance a company needs on 12 stage? People try to guess. One person said $25 million. And Alan asked how much money we needed on 10 stage. 25 million. And what's about the 11 stage? Same answer, $25 million. So to switch the 10 stage to 12, we have to collect 50 million. You can see all stages and business plan in your profile, and you can briefly go and read through all these requirements in just your profile. To finalize, just wanted to say that I'm really fan of this project and very emotional about this project, and want this project make happen in each of you. Receive not regret, or just each of you guys can say, finally this project gives us something that we didn't have before, like ability. Not just try to blame you guys not possess financial literacy. It's just I understood that I need to have financial literacy to run my budget, and I'm not talking about only the results of investments, how to put $100 and receive 1,000 rubles. Just the main thing, if you need to understand, if somebody will take everything from you and you will just have $1, and to have this financial literacy, you would understand how to increase it up to millions and survive in a critical period of your life. So I kindly suggest to go through the financial literacy education and understand as soon as possible how it works. So, dear friends, I want to thank you for participating in this webinar. Thank you for support this project, and we are powerful. Together we can make all happen before nobody can realize. Thank you for everything, and goodbye.
you